Good morning, Year 9. I hope that you are all well. Thank you for joining me in the assembly. I really do wish that you are all safe and well and warm today after our really snowy weekend. I just want to remind you that I'm recording this assembly so I can put this on the website so everybody can access it. But we're going to talk today about GCSE options, and all I'm going to do today is just to give you a brief introduction because there's a lot more information coming out over the rest of the week. But just a quick run through because I think it's really important. If you were in school, we would normally give you that assembly to kind of welcome you to this process. This is quite an important time. There's going to be some of you who are really excited by this, some of you who perhaps are a little bit daunted, but we're going to make sure that you are feeling really, really supported, even though this is a bit of a different time for us to be running an options process. So, as I said, there's some big choices coming up, and you will be over the next 4 weeks asked to choose the subjects and the options that you're going to study at Key Stage 4. Now, like I mentioned, that is going to look a little bit different because obviously you're all working from home, but we are still absolutely here to support you. And the main message from me this morning is please don't feel isolated by this. There's lots and lots of people who will come on to talk about later who are willing to help and support you. Okay, the second big message is do not worry if you are not sure about what you want to do long term. That is absolutely fine. We've got lots and lots of help and advice for you to help you choose a really broad and balanced set of options that don't close any doors and that mean that all of your options remain open. So this morning I just want us to spend a few minutes looking at the process to let you know what to expect. And then Thursday is our big launch day where you'll have to get yourselves on the school website from 3:30 when all of the information from staff will be there. So next year, your timetable is going to look very different. Okay, you'll be studying fewer subjects, and those subjects are split into core subjects and option subjects. Now, core subjects, everybody in year 10 and 11 has to study and sit an exam in some of them. Okay, and that's the same nationally. So you will all have already pre-populated on your timetable next year, English language, English literature, a double award of science and maths. And you will all sit an exam in those 4 subjects. You will also study, but not sit an exam in PE, and we make sure that you have plenty of PE lessons dotted throughout your timetable. And also we'll carry on with values lessons, which is where we cover our kind of British values, our PHSE lessons, and the sex education that it is required for you to study. But your options are slightly different, okay? You then have 4 choices to make from the other subjects that we offer, and we're really proud at the Dean Academy to be able to offer you such a real wide range of subjects. It's quite unusual. Lots of them are GCSE subjects, but you'll notice when you get the information on Thursday that some of them are called BTECs or Cambridge Nationals. They are worth exactly the same as a GCSE when you achieve a level 2 pass in them, and you'll hear us talking about level 2 as the next kind of step up into Key Stage 4 study. And you can pick almost any combination of these. If you want to study just GCSE courses, that's fine. If you want to study a combination of GCSEs and BTECs or Cambridge Nationals, that's also absolutely fine. Now, when you do make your choices, you will see that the subjects are put into things that are called option blocks, okay? And it's really important that when we're building the timetable at school, we have these option blocks to mean that we can put you students, in lessons during the day, all right? So this is how we write our timetable. So it does limit your choices slightly, but it also means that you get a really broad and balanced curriculum, because you'll notice there that lots of subjects appear more than once, so we're not limiting you too much. Now, almost all of you are going to pick at least 1 subject from section 1. Okay, some of you will be contacting and encouraging you to pick 2, and if you fancy doing 2 or 3, then of course we're going to really encourage you to do that. But these subjects are called EBAC subjects, and they're really important. We'll explain all this on Thursday in much more detail. They're really important for you when you're thinking about moving on to continuing your education post 16. So just to repeat, you have to take at least one subject in one of those columns, and it doesn't have to be in every column, it just needs to be in one column. So you all have to pick at least one subject there. Secondly, you then need to look at each option column separately and pick a first and a second choice in each column. So that may appear in section 1, but you may also be tempted by a subject that's in section 2 as well. You need to be prepared to study your second subject or your second choice, because as much as we do try to get everybody their 4 first choices, sometimes it's not possible. We've got a really good success rate. We've got over 85% of students get all 4 of their first choices, but unfortunately it's not always possible. So when you're talking to family and friends and teachers about these subjects, make sure that you are ready to sometimes perhaps study that second choice. Okay. Now, when you fill in your form, and again, heaps more information about this will come out to you on Thursday, you need to make sure that you're carefully noting what your first and your second choices are. Now, there is no pressure around filling this form in immediately, okay? We don't need your final choices until after half term, and your initial choices will ask for just before half term. What I want you to spend the next couple of weeks doing is just reading, talking to staff, talking to family, and making some decisions. Okay, basically just thinking about what it is that you want to do, because when you eventually do come to choose your options, you will be finding that you are putting in a first choice in each column. So here, as an example, this person will have chosen French, music, philosophy and ethics, and triple science. And they're the 4 subjects that they really want to move on to study, but also they've had to put their second choices in. So this person, surprise, surprise, really wants to do philosophy and ethics. So they've put that as their second choice in the other column, in column A, despite putting it as their first choice in option C, just to really show us that they want to study it. Their second choice is geography in option B, BTEC engineering in option C, and either GCSE PE or sports studies in option D. So you've got to be prepared, just to repeat myself, to make sure that you are studying and prepared to study your second choice as well. Just as a different example, okay, this is a slightly different route that you may choose to go. This person is going to choose to do product design, a bit more of a vocational subject, as their choice in option A. They're choosing history in option B, choosing art in option C, and Spanish in option D. Their second choices, they really want to do Spanish, so they put that as their second choice in option A, geography as their backup in option B. They've got statistics, which is a maths option, and as their choice in option D. And their final second choice, just in case they don't get Spanish there, is history. Now, again, you don't need to be making these decisions and filling forms in yet, but this is what you need to be starting to work towards, making sure that you've got your first choice in each column, but also your backup choice. Now, I mentioned before, there are a huge number of people who are around and about to help you. Even though you're working from home, please don't forget that there's lots and lots of staff in school that are able to contact you. All right. Your first port of call should be your parents and carers, though. Make sure that you're talking about this, talking about possible career choices, talking about areas that you're interested in with them, and just keep that conversation going over the next few weeks. Your tutor is also somebody who's still available, either via email, or we can set up Teams meetings just in the morning to be talking to them about the process. Subject teachers are going to start talking to you in your lessons about this as well. So you're going to have your normal year 9 lessons, but also there'll be a small amount of lessons directed towards talking about options throughout the next couple of weeks. And also the directors of faculty have made videos of explaining all the subjects that you could possibly be studying, and you'll be able to watch those from Thursday. Mr. Stradling, head of year, is obviously still around as well and is contactable. All right, and he's able to offer lots of help, as is any member of SLT. We're all still in school, and I oversee this process. So if you or your parents have any questions, please do just email me, and I'm more than happy to ring and have a chat. Okay. There's also some important dates for you, and your parents and carers have had a letter with all of this information in, but just so you know what the process is as well. As I said, this is time for you to just start thinking, all right, and start to explore and start to talk to staff and your families about what those options may be. On Thursday of this week from 3:30, everything will be online for you, and you'll be able to work really hard to kind of get to grips with the whole process. Look at all those videos. They'll be there for the next 2 or 3 weeks, so you can watch them more than once. And then you can have conversations at home to start thinking about which staff you would like to speak to in Parents' Evening, which is next Thursday. Okay. We then were going to ask you to complete online your mock options by Wednesday the 10th of February. That's just before half term. That just allows me to check that those columns are all workable and that they fit what you like to do. And it's really important that that I make sure that I'm offering you the best curriculum possible. And then we'll give you a second deadline just after half term to fill in your final choices, just in case over half term you change your mind, and it's absolutely fine if you do that. Okay. I wish you lots and lots of luck with this process. If you find it daunting, if you find it a bit scary, don't worry, get in touch and we will help you. But just keep plodding away, keep talking about it. And if you've got any questions, then let me know. Okay.